Well, well, well. Welcome to Thor's world. Today I'm going to talk about all you individuals that are crying and complaining that, well, I just got laid off because AI took my job. What were you thinking? You had to have obviously known that AI was going to come in and swoop your job so fast from underneath you, you can make your head spin. But I'll tell you what, for those of you crying, complaining, oh my God, I'm broke, you're living way too much above your means. And yes, I understand the cost of living today is outrageously freaking high. But I tell you what, you know, you're going to have to adjust. You should have had that plan B or plan C along with that job that you had. And those of you that are posting videos about, oh my God, I don't need this job. I can do this on my own. I can start my own business. I shouldn't have to work with for nobody else. And then you guys post this stuff on social media. Yeah, you have no room to gripe and complain and cry that you got fired because your employer saw this video. You're asking for it. But anyways, back to that plan B or plan C. You know, to be honest with you, I'm 60 years old. I didn't go to a college. I went to a trade school. I spent my life making damn good money with these hands, and that's still out there. You can still do it. Yeah, you guys might be, you individuals might be making, I don't know, 70,000, 120,000 a year sitting behind a computer, getting fat, staring at a cubicle wall. But I'll tell you what, go out there and become an electrician or heck, even a refrigeration technician. I'll tell you what, man, these individuals are starting out between 60 and 75 for the first year. And the companies they work for, majority of the time, will continue sending you to their technical trade school to get you to further advance in your career for that company. Heck, within a year and a half, you're up to maybe 150, 250 a year. And you're traveling around, you get your own maintenance van. And, if you get hungry, you pull in, you get lunch. You don't have to clock out like you do in a cubicle. I mean, come on. Don't be afraid to get out there and get dirty and make that money. AI is not going to swoop in and take an electrician's job, a plumber's job, the refrigeration guy's job anytime soon. Because I tell you what, if you don't start now and don't get into these technical schools, a lot of these individuals that are thinking about going to college don't do it. I'm going to tell you straight up, don't go to college. Don't waste your money. Don't believe that hype that your high school is telling you, your teachers, oh, you got to go to college, get that master's degree, become an accountant, do things, with your mind on the computers. You know, don't do it. You're obsolete now. AI is going to take your job so fast, in which it already has started. And like I said, go to a technical school. Work with your hands, get out there, get dirty, work those 12, 15 hours a day. But you know what? It's very rewarding. You're not sitting in a damn office chair looking at cubicle walls, staring at the computer screen, and then wondering why within the next 1 year to 2 years you've got carpal tunnel, your eye vision sucks. You know what? I hate to be so blunt, but sometimes blunt really works. It's usually what gets somebody's attention. And I'm seeing all these videos on YouTube about people are whining and crying. Oh my God, I just got this 5-minute phone call that I've just been laid off, that I'm no longer needed because the company's restructured. AI is taking my job. What'd you expect? You had to have known it was coming. I mean, you guys obviously watch social media because you're posting crap on there. Come on now. I mean, I don't understand. Maybe you guys are doing it for the likes, the hits, the subscriptions, whatever. I don't know. But I'm telling you what, better get off your keister and get out there and come up with that plan B and plan C. And being a technician, hell, that's a plan A right there. And majority of the time, you can always still have that plan B or plan C, but I guarantee you're not going to need it like you are when you're working in an office. I talked to this one kid today, or not today, last week, that just graduated from high school. I said, "So, what are you going to college for?" "Oh, I'm going to be an accountant." I said, "Accountant? Okay." I said, "How fast do you think you can do numbers quick? Can you do numbers quicker than AI?" "No." I said, "Okay, you just answered my question. I mean, do you think AI is going to take your job? Or do you think there's going to be work for you when you graduate college and you're so far in debt because you decided, hey, I'm going to be an accountant because my grandma was?" I told him those days were really fine to do that. But nowadays, don't even bother. Go to a technical trade school. And I even talked to this guy that graduated not this year, but the following year. And he was going to go to college on a basketball scholarship. I'm like, really? You're going to go to college and become a basketball player? I said, "Do you really think that's going to get you into the professional sport, making all that money?" He said, "Yeah, probably not, but I could always change my major, whatever it is, And I said, "What, go further in debt?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "No." I said, "I want you to talk to somebody." I said, "I know a supervisor that works for these wind turbine companies. Let's see if we can get you in that door. Because I tell you what, you're going to make a hell of a lot more money and you're going to be a lot happier. And guess what? You're not going to be in debt. And they will pay you to go to school to continue on with that field." He's like, "All right." But guess what? The kid is so happy and thanked me that I had told him about this and introduced him to this supervisor. He is making so much more money than he would have ever did. I mean, maybe sitting behind a desk or whatever, and computers. He's traveling around, and with this particular line of work, he gets to travel around the country. And I tell you what, these guys and gals, they get per diem. They get really damn good money. They pay for their hotels, they pay for their travel. I mean, they get really good medical. You're not, come on, people, think about it. Use your hands. AI is not going to take these technical jobs. So, I mean, I'm 60 years old. I spent my life working with my hands. And I tell you what, I don't regret one damn moment of it. I've made some good money, and, there's a couple of companies that I would work with part time that really weren't the best, but you know what? I really enjoyed doing what did, and I've made good money. I am semi-retired now. I mean, I've stacked some money away, and I plan on doing an early retirement at 62. I could afford it. You know why? It's because I worked with my hands. I got it good. And, you know, don't wait for that phone call that your employer is going to give you. I know it's going to happen. If you're wondering if it's going to happen, the type of work that you're doing, that your employer is going to call you and say, "Hey, I took your job," it's going to happen. There's no wondering about it. It's just when it's going to happen. It's not if, it's going to be when. But I tell you what, do not, I stress, do not listen to your old school teachers about going to college, getting that degree. A lot of these, a lot of teachers are still older generation. That's myself, and yeah, hell, my teachers preach, well, you got to go to college, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, I'm an outside individual. I mean, I like to travel. I like to fix things for people, make good money, make people happy. And I tell you what, at the end of the day, it's rewarding. Not like an office job where at the end of the day, your ass is sore, your eyes are hurting, and you're wondering, well, am I going to get that phone call tomorrow morning? For you individuals that are posting these videos all over social media, crying and whining, "Oh my God, I just got laid off," and you complain that there's no loyalty with the company. Duh. These companies don't give a crap about you, but yet they want you to give that 2 weeks notice. Mm-mm, hell no. You think they're going to give you a 2 weeks notice when they decide they're going to lay you off? No. They'll call you 5 minutes before you show up for work and say, don't bother coming in, or they'll do a Zoom call or face to face on a computer. Yeah, don't bother coming in. This is HR. You're really one of the great employees, but we have to restructure. The finances aren't there. Uh, we'd like to thank you for training AI for your position, but now AI's got your position. Yeah, that's the rewards and that's the thanks that you get. Do not even bother doing it. But anyways, I tell you, go to technical trade school. That's where it's at. And you know, you're not going to be in massive debt. Hey, you even get to make good money. You can go out and buy tools, really cool tools. I like tools. And for those of you who've never really worked with your hands doing that kind of stuff, I guarantee you, once you start it, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. I got sent to a customer's house because their AC wasn't working and it's hot as hell in their house. I got it working. They were so happy. And I tell you what, there's a lot of customers that will actually give you that gratuity. I mean, heck, when I was doing refrigeration, I got sent to a grow house. This is when weed became legal in Colorado. I don't smoke weed and I don't do drugs. I don't even drink alcohol. The worst thing I do is smoke cigarettes. But I got sent to a grow house because their AC system, filtration system, wasn't blowing the right amount of humidity and all this stuff for their grow house. It took me longer to drive there. I think it took me 45 minutes to get there. And the place is out in the middle of nowhere. And I had their system up and running in less than 30 minutes. I saved them a ton of money. I said, I'm going to go out to the truck, do my paperwork for the billing and give you guys your receipt, and they would come out and of course their gratuity was, here, we want to give you this. I'm like, no, it's fine. I don't do that. I appreciate the offer. And they respected that and they actually brought me out a cash gratuity. I mean, I'm not saying you always get it, but you do. I mean, there's times where I work for fast food places. The company I worked for years ago had a lot of your fast food chains, grocery stores, and restaurants. And we would go in and fix whatever their problem was. Heck, maybe that's why I'm a little overweight today because I'll be honest with you, I never had to pay for a lunch. I never had to pay for a meal because these customers are so happy. You got them back up and running on this particular fryer or walk-in freezer. You got everything. You got it going, and you saved them a lot of money. And now they're going to be making money. And I tell you what, they're like, pick anything you want. Sit down and have lunch on us. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's it's so self-rewarding. It's great. That guy feeling is so awesome knowing that you just made somebody's day. That's a whole hell of a lot better feeling than knowing that, well, I hope I made my boss happy with me today by getting all these reports done, figuring out all these numbers, and then the next morning you get that 5 minute video call. Oh, by the way, I have to let you go because AI now has got your job. So, anyways, hey, thank you for watching Thor's World. And if you like what you see here in this video, and if it hits you, if it resonates with you, just leave that thumbs up, maybe subscribe. Well, heck, I just want to say thank you for watching Thor's World, and I will be making more videos. Thank you.